Well, hey y'all. Hadn't been on here for a while. Tired teacher. Yeah, this is the way it looks. Tired teacher. It's we have next week of school and then we're off for a couple of weeks. And this time of year, I like to try a few new recipes and something to motivate me to cook when I come home. Because usually when I come home, I want to go straight to the sofa, have a snack, lay down, take a nap. And Stephen comes home and there's nothing cooked on the stove, so we go out to eat and, spend money and trying to, cut back on that a little bit with the COVID, not going out so much since it's kind of ramping back up. So I like to do HelloFresh. And so I went ahead and usually I skip my meals, but I keep my account active. And tonight, we're making something very fancy. It's called Triple Mushroom Truffle Gnocchi. All right. I know some of you maybe never tried a HelloFresh. It's great for just, 2 people, or if you're just one person. If you got a big family, it does get kind of pricey, but for just the 2 of us, it's really cheaper than me going out and buying the stuff to make this, because you just get it just in the portion you need. And this is portion control. So it helps us not to overeat. I do have some leftover steak we're going to have with this, but this is a meatless meal. And it comes with, a package of gnocchi, which is a potato dumpling. It's an Italian potato dumpling. Came with a whole package of mushrooms, the nice big button mushrooms. Came and needed a tomato, so just 1 tomato there. And a couple of green onions. Parmesan cheese, and some panko breadcrumbs, a couple of packages of cream cheese, some shroom stock concentrates. This is a mushroom concentrate, a little stock there, garlic powder, and the really fancy part is truffle zest. So it's the grated truffle there. That's why it's called triple mushroom. You've got your truffle zest, you've got your mushroom stock, and your button mushrooms. And I love these really colorful instructions. It shows you what comes in it. It tells you on the back what you're going to need, gives you a step-by-step picture instruction here. And, I like to try new things, and this kind of increases my recipe content, I guess. And I do have a binder. I punch holes in it and keep these because the sauces are really what makes this. We're going to have, I'm going to fix some kale with it too, because I got some that's about to go bad in the refrigerator. But it does keep you from wasting food. Like if I bought a whole package of green onions, I might not use but 2 of them and the rest of them end up going bad. Or mushrooms. I might use just maybe a couple of mushrooms out of the container and the rest go bad. So usually it's around $9, between $9 and $10 a plate, but it's really, it's fun and it motivates me to cook. So I'm going to get these vegetables cut up and get to cooking. All right, so I have everything cut up and I've got some butter going here in a pan right here. Got a tablespoon of butter. And it says to add the panko breadcrumbs over medium-high heat, and you stir them and kind of toss them until they're golden. So I've got them here in my pan, and I'm going to sprinkle those panko breadcrumbs in. It's really good to have a silicone spatula to work with heat when you're doing something like breadcrumbs or something that's pretty fragile, and you're going to need to remove them from the pan and scrape them. Just kind of toast them a little bit. Toast those panko breadcrumbs. Got some kale going over here that I had in the refrigerator with some olive oil and garlic, and just saute it in a pan. And kale cooks pretty quick, really. It's pretty much ready. Sometimes I'll just cut it off and put the lid on and let it steam. Add a little salt and pepper and some chopped fresh garlic and olive oil, and just sauteed it. Okay, these are starting to see a little golden color, and then it said to add about half the garlic powder that's in this little container. So I'm just going to grab me a spoon. So you're just making little garlic breadcrumbs, I guess, really. Set that aside and stir it in. Oh, you can really smell it now. And getting a little golden toasty brown. And my breadcrumbs are just toasty, so it says to put them in a bowl. Set that aside, and then just wipe the pan out. So I'm going to wipe my pan out over here at the stove. And then it said to add a large drizzle of olive oil to the pan. So I'm going to give it a large drizzle of olive oil. And saute your mushrooms with a pinch of salt. Now it said to quarter the mushrooms, so I've quartered them. There were some really nice large mushrooms there. See, there we go. Just coating those mushrooms with that olive oil. So they're doing pretty good here. We're going to saute these mushrooms and add a little bit of salt. And cook them till they're brown and tender, about 5 to 7 minutes. So we're going to let these cook over about medium heat. Okay, now our mushrooms are finished. They're nice and brown and cooked. And it says to add a tablespoon of butter. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter there. And to go ahead and add the green onion. It says to add the whites. I'm going to add all the rest of the garlic powder. I'm going to add the rest of that here. And it says cook until fragrant, about 30 seconds. So we're going to cook this. My water's boiling for my gnocchi. And we're just going to get this all stirred up here together. And then we're going to be adding some water. About a third a cup of water, and the mushroom stock, cheese, half the Parmesan. This is going to be a really nice creamy sauce. And then I'm going to finish everything in my large skillet because my gnocchi is going to take up a lot more room, but I like the smaller skillet for making the sauce and to have a nose stick for cooking at that high temperature. Alright, this is really smelling good. And now I'm going to add a third a cup of water here, and the stock concentrate, the shroom concentrate. Put that in there. I guess you could find these at gourmet stores, or of course you could order them online. It's really dark and thick. Adding a really nice rich color there. We'll stir that in some. Turn it down a little bit. The cream cheese, we're going to add that. It's 1 ounce of cream cheese. So this is 2 ounces of cream cheese that's being added here. Really fine would be the truffle zest and the mushroom stock. So everything else, a lot of it I have already. I have the panko breadcrumbs, easy to find. I like a whole wheat gnocchi. A little richer here. So we're melting this down here. Add half the Parmesan cheese. Save the rest of it for topping. So I'm going to put that in there. The dairy, not to turn the heat too high. And curdle that cheese there. I'm going to go ahead and start my gnocchi here. And it says it's only going to take 3 to 4 minutes to cook it. So we're going to put that in the pot. And these are great. I get them at the Asian supermarket. go in there. I had salted my water already. I'll set my timer. I'm going to set it for 4 minutes. Looks good. Wish y'all could smell it. All this garlic and Parmesan. That mushroom stock smells wonderful. The onions. Creamy. Almost stroganoff looking. Except there's no sour cream. Have a stroganoff look to it. Stir there. A bit. Okay, and this is starting to boil a little bit. And it said more water to add it, but this seems just fine. Maybe when I mix it with the gnocchi, if the gnocchi soaks up a lot, I might add a little more water. So, you cook this till it's creamy, and I'm pretty much there. And then it tells you to stir in the diced tomatoes and the truffle zest and some salt and pepper. So we're gonna do that here. And you don't want it says to turn the heat off. I guess because you don't want to cook the tomatoes to release the water. You don't want to do that because it'd make this too runny. Boiling back yet. So I'm going to add, I'll turn this heat down, turn it off, and stir my tomatoes in, and they'll cook a little bit, enough to make your dish watery. And then this little truffle zest. Oh, I needed to add a tablespoon of butter. This has about 3 tablespoons of butter in it. So I'm going to add my butter. Go in that truffle zest. Cut my top off here. Oh wow, that is some potent smelling stuff. Yeah, wow. My gnocchi starting to float to the top. But when you heat your pan first on low heat and then add your oil, your food doesn't tend to stick. All right, let me see how those gnocchi's doing here. Top are finished. So I just followed my recipe here. Tells you exactly what to do. Tells you to put the drained gnocchi in the pan. So I'm going to do this. Hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. I'm going to turn my heat off. And you just kind of stir them around in there to coat them with that sauce. When that gnocchi's done, it floats. Love the Olive Garden's chicken gnocchi soup. There's copycat recipes on the internet. It's really easy to make. Alright, so I'm just combining, stirring this. It did happen to fit in this pan. I'm glad. Bit of it. See how it is here. Just going to use my little bowl here. Have my tomatoes in, mushroom, little gnocchi, little tomato, little sauce there. It said to sprinkle it with the panko breadcrumbs. It's fancy. A little Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna try this and see if it's any good. You might want to order from HelloFresh, or I bet they have the recipes. You could look them up online. I like using these different meals that come to your door. I live out in the country, The only thing between me and where I work on the way home is a dollar store and, the convenience store. So just running to the grocery store is, not something I can just do. So when I can order these and have them fresh. So I'm going to taste this and see how that is. Oh, yeah. That is delicious. Y'all. That one's a keeper. So, if you've never tried one of these meals, order companies, I've used almost all of them. HelloFresh, Home Chef, Blue Apron, Marley Spoon. I think those are the ones I've tried. Marley Spoon's a Martha Stewart one, and their recipes are really good. They're a little more pricey. Home Chef, they have a binder with the recipes, or already have the holes punched in them, and everything I've gotten from these companies has been really good, and it's great for just the two of us here. So make it something fancy. For us tired teachers, we need that every now and then, a little motivation. So y'all have a good evening. Bye, y'all. So if you want to try HelloFresh, I can email you $40 off. You have to sign up for it, but you can skip weeks, and after you get your discounts, you can cancel. So in the comments, if you would like to try it, I can send you a discount. I'm not affiliated with them, but I do get a $10 credit when someone orders and uses the code that I would, or the link that I would send you. So try it out.